I have four NBA bets for Sunday, January 14th. We ended up taking yesterday off in the NBA, focused on the NFL. Ended up going 2-1 in the NFL. We lost on Browns money line. Felt pretty confident in it, even at halftime with them down. And then they get a stop to start the second half. Throw a pick six. Very next drive, throw another pick six. Game over. Congrats to the Texans. I didn't think, as young as a team as they are, that they would be able to win back-to-back playoff games. Congrats to them. But Friday in the NBA, why we took off yesterday. We ended up going 1-3, a couple bad beats. We had Steph Curry over 27.5 points. He finished on the hook with 27. He had a big fourth quarter. We just needed another free throw. The Bulls ended up not fouling down the stretch with about 15 seconds left, and he didn't hit it. Then we had Bruce Brown over 21.5 PRA. He finished with 17 in only 21 minutes. He didn't play the entire fourth quarter, unfortunately, due to another blowout in the National Blowout Association. And finally, we had Jokic over 11.5 rebounds. He finished with 10. He only had one in the first quarter, and I think at the end of the first half, he only had three. So he had a big second half in rebounds, but just never got over that 11.5. The only bet we hit on Friday was day one of the $10 to 10K challenge. We had Steph 25 plus points and Jokic 10 plus points. That was a huge sweat. Like I said, Steph had 13 going into the fourth, finished with 27, but got to 25, I think, with like 2 minutes left in the fourth. And Jokic, he didn't grab his 10th rebound until late in the fourth. And at one point, this game was a blowout, and I didn't think it had a chance. But thankfully, both of them came through and hit those numbers. They just didn't hit their actual numbers. They ended up hitting their alternates. So we went 1-for-3 on Friday. But today we have four bets. We're looking for a big bounce back and a 4-0 day in the NBA. For the first bet, Bruce Brown over 17.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Like I said, he had 17 the other night in just 21 minutes. Didn't play the whole fourth quarter. He had 13 points, rebounds, and assists at halftime. I really think this line needs to be in the mid-20s. On Friday night, this line was 21.5, and then the game before that, it was 19.5. I really think he'll easily hit this. He's going up against his old team in the Nuggets on the road in Denver, so he's going to be really hyped to play there. Pretty sure he gets his ring today too. He's going to be energetic. It's going to be a great game. I expect him to have the ball a lot and make a lot of plays. For our second pick, LaMelo Ball under 36.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He, in the other night, in his first game back since November 26th, he had 36 PRA against the Spurs. It was a blowout, so he didn't play that much. He only played 27 minutes. But coming off an injury, especially with Friday night being his first game back, I expect him to, be pretty sore after that, have some tightness. So playing 27 minutes the other night, even though it was a blowout, he probably would have played upwards of 30 minutes. I expect him to only play probably about 25 minutes today against the Heat. And there's a potential for the Hornets to get blown out. Going on the road to Miami, there's a big potential for a blowout here, and LaMelo only playing, 15, 20 minutes, not coming really close to that 36.5. I have two same game parlays. For the first one, the Clippers and the Timberwolves. This one's sitting at minus 118, so pretty good value. Only two legs. We're going to take Paul George, 20 plus points. He's hit this in 18 out of his last 19 games, and he's hit this in 13 out of his last 13 games. So he's been on fire, scoring 20 plus points about the last month and a half, printing people money because his actual number is only at 22.5. So two less points. I would even take him over 22.5, but we're just going to parlay with this with something else to get really good value. We're also going to take Anthony Edwards, 25 plus points. He's hit this in 12 out of his last 15 games. And in 2 out of his last 3 games, he has scored under 10 points. In his first game where he scored under 10 points, he had 9 points, and he came around the next night and shot the ball 27 plus times after only shooting it 7 times. The other night where he only scored 6 points, he shot the ball 9 times. So if the trend continues, I expect him to shoot the ball at least 20 plus times tonight against the Clippers. Wouldn't be surprised if he puts up over 25 plus shots, and we only need 25 points. For our second same game parlay, it's in the Kings and the Bucks game. This one's sitting at minus 109. We're going to take Damian Lillard, 20 plus points. He's hit this in 11 out of his last 15 games, and he's hit this in 7 out of his last 8 home games. really good value on this pick. I think this is great value right here for Damian. Then we're going to take De'Aaron Fox, 25 plus points. He's only hit this in 2 out of his last 7 games, which is pretty surprising. If you think of De'Aaron Fox, he's averaging 27.7 points right now this season. So only hitting 25 in 2 out of his last 7 games, not good. Been in some kind of a slump, but going up against a good Milwaukee team, 2 really good teams, I expect Fox to come out, be aggressive, and I expect him to get to the free throw line a bunch today and be able to easily go over this 25 points. Then for the final leg, Giannis, 25 plus points. He's hit this in 11 out of his last 12 games, and the only miss was against the Celtics when they were up 40 at halftime, and then the Celtics didn't even play any of their starters in the second half. Giannis ended up finishing that game with 24 points. So basically, if you want to look at it, he's really hit this in 12 out of his last 12 games or 11 out of his last 11 because he didn't even play them. I think he only played 4 or 5 minutes in the third quarter, and he finished with 24. Those are my 4 picks in the NBA for January 14th. If you want to go see my NFL picks for Sunday and Monday, go check them out.